morning, guys. It's a great gloomy morning out here. Rain everywhere. It's been raining for almost 2 days on and off now, and I'm not so much used to it. I had to avoid roadkill. Raining this often, this is all new to me. My arthritis typically flares up pretty bad during these times, but on this new protocol, it's not doing that. Update on the carnivore group is we're getting a lot of people from other groups that have bad information. One guy asked me this morning, he said in the other group that I was in, to get into ketosis and to get into autophagy, the group would have specific types of food that you would eat. Sorry, I've got news for you. If you break down the word autophagy, autophagy, auto is Greek. It's meaning like oneself. And then phagine, I think it's spelled P-A-G-E-I-N. It's been like 2 years since I even looked at the breakdown. And phagine means to eat oneself. And when you get into a form of autophagy, the word is broke down to eat oneself. You cannot get into autophagy by eating food. That is a fasting protocol. It's where your body starts eating the bad cells, the dead cells, things of that nature. That's what that is. You cannot use food to do that. Second of all, he referenced then what foods would be optimal for me to get into ketosis. Should I just do beef? Should I do beef, chicken, and fish? It's not about the food that you eat. It's about the restriction of carbohydrate that you eat. Some foods could cause you to prolong that effect, such as dairy, which is very inflammatory. And with it being inflammatory, you could raise your risk for cortisol release, which that in turn could slow your ketogenic process down and getting into a form of ketosis. But it's the restriction of carbohydrates that allows your body to do that. It's not necessarily the type of food. You could probably eat sugar every single day, keeping it under a certain carb tolerance, whatever that tolerance is for your body, and still get into ketosis. It's the restriction of the carbohydrate. A carbohydrate is essentially a sugar. It's just a different compound or molecule of sugar. So restricting sugar, if you will, which is a carbohydrate, is what's going to yield that ketotic process, that ketotic phase. Recap for what happened over the weekend is I was messaged by another member that said, this is the third one in like several months now, said I ended up in the hospital again because my heart rate was beating, and the hospital simply found that they were deficient in potassium. She's on a carnivorous diet, and she doesn't like to eat a lot of meat, but because she was listening to Sean Baker say you shouldn't supplement when you do the carnivore program, well, if you don't supplement when you do the carnivore program and you don't eat a lot of meat, you're not going to sustain the level of potassium that's going to allow your heart and your cellular function to happen properly. So you have to supplement in order to make that happen, to regulate that. And a lot of people confuse low potassium for too much potassium, and they think that too much potassium means it makes your heart beat fast because it's just the words too much, or because the heart too fast. It is not true. Too little can make the heart beat out of control. I would love to see everyone have their own chart available whenever a symptom occurs so they could refer to that chart. Some charts are going to say 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams. Some people are going to listen to Dr. Berg that says the recommended daily allowance is 4,700 milligrams. Some people are going to go to Ketogains chart and they're going to see that it's like 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of potassium. There's like so many different recommendations out there. I pick in between, and I just tell people up front, try to hit 3,000 milligrams of sodium and potassium, but I'm telling you right now, typically people have more than that. People have typically between 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium and potassium. It's a pretty well-balanced electrolyte makeup. I try to do exactly the same with one as I do the other. So if I'm getting 5,000 milligrams of sodium, I try to match my potassium as close as I possibly can. I don't always get it perfect, but it's enough for me to be healthy and sustain my daily living. And I eat a lot of meat as it is because I'm in the gym right now. I'm not trying to lose weight essentially right now. I'm trying to shed fat in a sense, but more bulk up because I don't want the loose skin. So the last month I've just been doing nothing but pounding the weights and getting very strong and much bigger than what I was. And that entails 4.5 pounds of meat sometimes, and a lot of people can't consume that to get all their potassium, so you're going to have to supplement with no salt, new salt, potassium chloride with your specific brand that you like. What else happened this weekend? Recap, I made my fathead meat pie. That was a great turnout. There was a lot of people that was really excited for that, and now they're wanting to try it. It's kind of like rejuvenated people and got them thinking about different ideas and stuff like that, that they can do with a ketogenic diet. A lot of new people on the group, man. We're getting like, I would say between 100 and 300 people a day on the carnivore group, and it's moving very, very fast. It's no joke. Like, people are really coming to carnivore by like the hundreds in our group every single day. I can watch our numbers on the bottom of the group when it shows other groups that are similar, and you know, they were at like 12,000 3 months ago, and we were at like, you know, 2,000. Well, 2-3 months later, now we're at 10,000, and those groups are still at 13,000. So our group is growing exponentially compared to the other groups. And I think the reason that is, honestly, is because people are tired of keto Nazis. People are tired of carnivore Nazis. They want the truth, but they don't want to be beaten up over it. They want people to say, look, soybean oil and Hellmann's mayonnaise is very estrogenic. It's not good for you, especially in men. Women that overproduce estrogen, they definitely don't want more soybean oil on top of what they're already producing. So it's your journey. You choose what you want. I'm giving you the information. I'll try to help you find some literature, and I'll move on from it. I don't have to beat you up over it. I don't have to tell you not to post on the page over it. Just, here's your information. You choose. Every once in a while I'll get a little strict and I'll get into a conversation with somebody, but it's because either, you know, I don't like the recommendation because it seems a little unsafe, or like there was a guy that popped up last night that said all diets fail, just eat a well-balanced meal plan. What? That makes no sense. Why would you come onto a group that is trying to promote a healthy lifestyle, a healthy diet plan, and tell people all diets fail, just eat a well-balanced meal plan? It makes no sense. Needless to say, within a half hour of the guy being on there, I had to boot him off and block him from the page, because we're getting a lot of people from zero carb sites that are super, super hardcore, that swear and cuss at each other and put each other down. And that's the sad part. The sad part is we're getting those people that are coming over to us because we're growing so large, and they're trying to really rip people apart. We're getting like undercover vegans that come on and I can go on their pages and I can scroll through like months back on their history of their page, and I can see butterflies and fruits and vegetables and trees and how they're so healthy and how meat products aren't the best. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to go through all this digging and stuff just to vet people from coming onto the page. And we're getting a lot of that lately. So the bigger our group gets, the more problems we're having, which that's expected, and the more strict that I have to be. The more I have to not give people a second and third chance, that the first time that they cuss somebody out, or the first time they talk, or the first time they rip apart somebody's meal program and they make them feel bad for something. I don't have time when we're approaching 10,000 people to be patient with every single person. I don't have time to have to deal with that. The other day, a girl left a message and said, can you give me a typical meal plan on a carnivore diet? We get this question asked so much in the group. It's beat like a dead horse, and it gets so redundant. And it's like, when you requested to be in this group, there's a message box that pops up and it says, please read the pinned post, please read the rules before you even leave your first message on the group. We want to know that you know that stuff. And in that, it states, please use the search box. Type in your keywords in the search box, and you will more than likely get some kind of response, because it's already been covered. So many people come to this group and say, on a carnivore plan, what kind of meal plan do you recommend? Can you share some meal plans? Yeah, that's been done like 100+ times. So we're not going to answer that question anymore. Just go to the search box and type in meal plan, and you are going to get your answer. So I like literally had to respond to this person and say, look, this has already been answered. I don't know how many times. Please type the words in the search box. Now, I'll help you out a little bit and give you a brief breakdown of it. But when you have a question, type the keywords in the search box on the top of the group, and your question will be answered more than likely. If not, ask the question. And, one of the keto cowboys is what I like to call him. He wanted to pop up and said, hey, don't be a prick. Why don't you just answer the question? Well, first of all, you're not an admin in this group. Second of all, you don't have to deal with 10,000 people, which may be 10% of them asking questions in a given day. And third, hello, disrespect. Like, seriously, you can't say, hey, I'll help her privately. You guys don't have to worry about it. I'll help you out. Instead, it's don't be a prick, answer the question. That's a person right there that gets booted out of the group right away. No questions asked. And then people are like, oh my God, why did you kick so-and-so out or whatever? He was such a nice... No, he wasn't. He was a prick. And I'm the one being called a prick because I don't want to answer a question that's been answered 2, 3, 4 times. This is where the breakdown falls apart in the ketogenic and carnivorous community. Nobody wants to do the research. Nobody wants to do the homework. And when you don't do the homework and you don't do the research, you do not appreciate it the same as if you did it yourself. If somebody gives you something in life, you're never going to appreciate it as if you worked hard and figured it out for yourself or got it yourself. Yes, it's nice to have. Yes, it might benefit you, but it's never going to be the same. So I always try to engage people and say, did you research the group and see if it's already been answered? Did you go on Google? Did you go look at Sean Baker's site? Did you talk to Dr. Berry or get on Dr. Berry's videos? Did you get on my videos? Did you do anything? Did you look up any kind of studies? And most of the time, people didn't do anything. But I'm the prick. Anyhow. So then you have to look at the situation and say, buddy, you're not benefiting the group at all. You got to go. I don't have time with 10,000 people and climbing by hundreds every single day to have to deal with somebody's smart mouth and worry about the type of person that you are and how you're going to contribute to the group and if it's going to be a benefit for the group. So when you start gaining that many people, you don't have time. You really don't have time to put into people like that. You just got to move on and hope that they find guidance somewhere or they learn that they can't treat people that way. Anyhow, that's a recap for this weekend. A lot went on, and we started out on Saturday at like 800 people, and this morning I think we're at 9,600 people. That's how it's been going, just flooding our group with people, because I think people like the fact that we're so neutral with carnivore and keto, and people don't get attacked for talking about their journey and just speaking out openly and asking questions and stuff. We do have to be a little bit strict, but not totally. All right, guys, I'm at work right now. Just want you guys to know I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for every single subscriber that's on this page. It's your journey. Remember that. Try to do it the best you can. Carnivore on and keto on, guys. God bless.